All right, guys, let's do this. I'll be totally honest with you. I wasn't even sure if I was going to make this video. Like, there's so many YouTubers that like push plugins, and I don't know, it just always makes me feel a little icky, so I don't want to do that. But I figured, you know what? This isn't pushing plugins. This is me telling you, based on my experience of being a professional audio engineer for 20 years, what plugins are actually worth these deals. So let's approach it like that. No sponsors to this video whatsoever. I also just want to be totally clear about that. No singular plugin company is paying me to say nice words about their plugins. And who knows, I may have some not so nice words for some plugins here too. So also subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. On Monday, Monday or Tuesday, I'm planning on putting out a video that is going to be a tier list video of all the plugins that I've used, and I'm just going to rank them. Again, not sponsored, which gives me the freedom to say whatever I want about these plugins. So let's go ahead and dive in. I am currently in Plugin Boutique. I like Plugin Boutique. Plugin Boutique is who I usually use to like shop for plugins and download plugins and stuff. Generally speaking, they do have like really good price matching. So it's not like if you go to the plugin company's website, it's like a little bit cheaper, which for some like plugin websites, that is the case, but not with Plugin Boutique. They've always been super good. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's see what the deals are. Okay, right off the bat, this is the first one that catches my eye. SSL Native Channel Strip 2. I am a fan of SSL stuff in general. Like, I like their hardware. I even have their Revival 4000 series channel strip, the hardware that I need to review, which also was not sent to me by SSL. I'll be the only reviewer of that wasn't sent that unit by SSL. But anyways, their plugins also sound really good. I think that they do a great job with their plugins. This one is their 9000 series console channel strip, now featuring SSL's proprietary anti-cramping technology. I don't know what that means. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. It sounds like if you're sitting for a long time on a real rough mix, it's going to prevent your legs from cramping up. I really don't know what they mean by that. But either way, nice to have that technology, I guess. But like with SSL console channel strips, the EQ is always the star of the show to me. Like it's got the sparkle on the top end, it's got energy, it's got punch. And then the low end, you can really bring out a lot of bigness out of whatever you're EQing, but it doesn't get like muddy or crowded. Maybe that's what they mean by anti-cramping technology. Like it keeps those frequencies from getting all cramped up by all the frequencies. I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. But $19, I would say that's a good deal. Down from $149. And that's actually on sale until December 10th. So that's not just a Black Friday deal. That is on sale for a minute. So I think that would probably be worth your time, to be totally honest. That's a good one. All right, let's see what else we got. And immediately we got FabFilter Pro Q-4. Okay, listen, like it's the year of our Lord 2025. If you haven't got Pro Q4 or at least Pro Q3, I still only use Pro Q3. I haven't upgraded a Pro Q4. I didn't really see a reason to do so. But if you haven't got one version of those, like, yeah, it's worth it. You can do everything with those EQs. Really musical, very versatile. I like the fidelity that you get, and the dynamic feature is also really nice. Like, it's not like my go-to de-esser, but it is always an option that I have. Or if you're like EQing something and you're like, oh, I don't want to like pull the mid-range down, but you know what? I wish that I had just a multi-band compressor for just that one frequency range. Oh, the FabFilter Pro Q3 or 4 have that, and it's so nice to have an industry standard. I agree. It is an industry standard. It is expensive, so I will say that, but it almost never goes on sale. It never goes on sale. I bought mine when I was an instructor. So when I was teaching at the college level, since I had the .edu email address, they gave me a discount. I forget how much the discount was, but I think it was the same. It was like 25% off. So it's worth it. It's worth every penny. I think that the Fab Filter, the Pro Q-4, and then if the Pro L-2 is also on sale, that's another good one. Expensive, but super good. All right, let's keep going. Okay, this also pops out at me immediately. UAD Build Your Own Bundle Mixtape Pro. That's a fun name for it, I guess. Okay, let's see. Choose 10 UAD plugins from a curated selection of 50 iconic titles, including studio effects, virtual instruments, and amp models to build out your perfect mix/production bundle. I know that like UAD is one of those companies where people feel mixed. And by the way, so do I. Like, I'm not like the biggest like fanboy of their interfaces. I think they can be good. And then I'm not like, you know, a diehard UAD is perfect and they're the only plugins I use. I'm not that guy. But they make a lot of really good plugins, in my opinion. So let's see if we can pick out 10, because at, what would that be, $10 a plugin, $9 a plugin? That's not bad. $9.90 a plugin, I guess is what it is. Okay, Pultec. That's worth it. I'd pay $10 for that. LA2A, I like the LA2 better, just the regular LA2. That is the best like LA2A style compressor they make. There is something that happens in the high end of the LA2 that is so agreeable that the LA2A, it doesn't do it as much. And then their LA2A Silver, it's harsh on the top end. Like it's too much. There's like a psst, kind of like a thing that happens where it comes out too much and it's distorted and it just, not great. But the LA2A is okay. But so far, Pultec, yes. Fairchild, pass. It's not that great. Oxide tape recorder, fun. I'm going to put that on the back burner in case we don't find anything else. LA3A, absolutely hard yes on that one. LA3A, I use it on vocals every now and then, but like heavy electric guitar amps, it's so good. It's so good. It is my favorite for that style. So because I do mix a lot of heavier sounding guitar amps, that is like, it's such a go-to. It's crazy. So for me, that's that. 1176, easy yes for that one. Galaxy Tape Echo, another one of those like fun, but I wouldn't call it like essential, so I'm going to put it on the back burner, but it is it's a fun one. So we've got 3 so far. The 1176 LA3A and then the Pultec. Absolutely. Waterfall rotary speaker, another one, back burnering that because I do use it a lot. And when you want that Leslie speaker sound, it does it really well. It really does. It's a fun plugin. Lexicon 224. I'm going to say yes to that. So that's 4. We got 4 out of it. Okay, here's a controversial take. The Ampex ATR 102 mastering tape recorder. Pass. I've used it on some things and loved it, and I've used it on some things and hated it, but every single time that I'm like, oh, I really like that, I'm going to keep it on, I almost always end up taking it off eventually. It's like, I think I like it, and then the more I hear it, the less I like it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say pass. DBX 160. Super good. Really good. So that's a 5 right there. The SSL channel strip, there's another one I like better than the UAD. Some people say it's the same. I've got them both. I hear slight differences. And then the 4000 bus compressor, I'm going to say yes to that. So we're up to 6. So far it's pretty well worth it, because even if you do those 6 plus those other like fun things, I think it's worth it. What else we got? Sound City. I'm going to make that number 7. that is such a fun, like, reamping in a room kind of plugin. It's really good. I know a lot of people are talking about their Ocean Way Studios plugin that they just recently came out with, or at least recently made a really big push for. I like that one a little better, the Sound City. So that's number 7. Oh, easy, yes. API Vision Channel Strip, that's number 8. That is my like go-to drum mixing channel strip. It's so good. I love the saturation quality. It sounds really good. It does have a bigness and almost like a pillowiness to it that I really like. The EQ is super musical. The gate, it works well sometimes. The compressor's fine, but like the EQ and the saturation are so good. Avalon 737. That's another one where I'm like in between. I think it's probably my favorite like channel strip for acoustic guitar. I think for acoustic guitar, it just sounds so good. But I haven't found a lot of use for it outside of acoustic guitar. But for acoustic guitar, it's great. So backburnering that. Studer, Empirical Labs. Did I pass over the... Oh, I did. Yeah, the Distressor. Okay, yeah, Distressor. One of my favorite compressor plugins. If I only had one compressor to do everything in the plugin world, it would be the Empirical Labs EL8 from UAD. It's so good, it's crazy. It's so good, it's crazy. So that's 9, and then, yeah, just choose one of the other ones that I talked about being like a fun one. Maybe the Waterfall rotary speaker if you like that sound. Maybe the LA2A if you don't have a good LA2A. It's not bad. It's not bad. Either way, well worth it. I think that is a really good build your own bundle. So my stamp of approval for that. Real quick, I also want to say this. If you're interested in these plugins, one of the ways that I am able to do this without taking like sponsorships is my affiliate links that are down below. So if you are interested in these plugins and you want to say thank you to this channel for giving you unbiased opinions like this, use the link that I have in my description to go to Plugin Boutique. It will give me a small kickback, but it costs nothing for you, but it does so much for the channel. So if you are looking to say thank you, that is maybe the best way, and I very much appreciate you. Very much appreciate you. Okay, let's keep going. And like not even one row down, and I'm already my next one. A Decapitator by Soundtoys. These things are great. They're great. Listen, you don't need a whole lot of saturator plugins. You don't. There's a few that I use on a consistent basis. It's like the Sheps Omni channel. I love the saturation on that. The 1073 UAD plugin, the 1073 EQ and preamp, that is such a good saturator. It's crazy. Like I will use that one on bass because it does this thing of where it makes it sound like deeper and wider. It's so crazy, but it works so well. Anyways, we're not talking about those. We're talking about this, the Soundtoys Decapitator. It's so good. It really is nice. And you also have some extra tonal options out of it. So you could do like the low cut. You got the tone for the dark and the bright and the high cut and all the different styles. You've got the mix knob for dry and wet. So you can kind of do like side chain saturation and stuff like it's so good. It's so versatile. It sounds great. I honestly really like this one. What is the sale price on this right now? $49. That's 75% off. Honestly, that one's really good. If you are looking for a good saturation machine, this thing can do it all. It can do the subtle saturation, or you can just drive into it and just take it into Netherland. That is also really great. All right, moving on. All right, here's an interesting one. Baby Audio. Now, Baby Audio is an interesting company. They actually sent me their entire plugin bundle a couple years ago. You do this long enough and just plugin companies just give you stuff. Again, they're not sponsoring this at all. Some of their plugins I didn't think were really all that special. This one is fun. So I'm going to say this, for $10, it's fun. It's not bad. You also, there is a free trial on this. So I'm going to say this, don't pay $10, download the free trial. This sale is going until December 8th. So you've got more than a week to try it out. Try it out. See if you like it. Here's what it does for me. Saturation will give you, like a lot of the saturation plugins are going to give you like really big fidelity console classic sound, right? The TAIP plugin, TAIP, T-A-I-P, that plugin is going to give you more of the lo-fi sound, more of the cassette tape sound. If you are looking to lo-fi the sound of your saturation instead of making it sound big and epic and huge and sound like it was recorded at a huge studio, and you're just looking for something to make it sound more vintage, more 90s, more like, I think of like the Strokes production, you know, like that kind of sound. This could be a useful tool to nudge you more in that direction. So for $10, I don't think it's a bad deal. Download the free trial. Don't spend money on it right away. Figure out if you like it first. AI powered, really? Is it? I couldn't have imagined. But it's great. I honestly got a lot of use out of it. I love it on drum bus. It just has this way of gluing the drum mix together. It's also fun to use on a vocal too, to give it that like, you know, like toaster oven vocal kind of sound. Like, I love that so much. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, here's one. Universal Audio Topline Vocal Suite. Pass on that one. That one's not that great. I have it. It's fine. The color and saturation is actually pretty good. The compressor is fine. I don't really ever use it. The other stuff in there, I think there's like some like effects. There's like the auto-tune section. It's fine. Everything about that plugin is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not. There's a few people that are really pushing it right now for some reason. I don't know. I don't get it. It's fine, but it's not the end all be all. So pass on that one. Here we go. Here's something for free that is absolutely worth your time. Okay, iZotope Ozone EQ, another one that I use literally all the time. This is completely free, and I would call it like the mastering grade EQ. It's also really flexible. Like, it's got all these different modes. So you've got mid, side, left, right, transient, sustain, linear phase, face. And then also you'll see over here, it's mostly a subtle EQ. So keep that in mind. Like the numbers, like your boost only goes up to 4 dB. That's not that much, really. I typically start my EQ moves in about 3 dB increments at a minimum, and then I'll kind of fine tune from there. With that being said, you can also take that little slider that says amount right up here. And if you increase that, it'll give you more of a drastic EQ curve, which is also kind of a fun tool that I wish other EQs had. So you can kind of dial in your EQ and be like, it sounds good, but it's a little much. Can I just dial that back a little bit? And then it just takes all your EQ curves and just brings them in just a little bit. It's honestly really useful. I like this plugin. It sounds great. It's free. It's worth the hard drive space and the time it takes to download for sure. Okay, this is a fun one, and man, that's a good price. It's another saturator. God, there's so many of them. Again, you don't need a bunch of different saturators. Saturators are fun. They are tone shaping devices, right? But get yourself 2 or 3 that you really like and stick with it and learn them. And that's it. But if you are looking for one of those 2 or 3, this should at least be in the running. It's good. It gives you more of like a tubey kind of saturation. I'll give you a free saturation plugin at the end of this, like a shout out for free saturation plugin at the end of this video. So stick around for that. But this one is really good. Black Box Analog Design HG2 by, I think that's Brainworx. Yeah, it's Brainworx. They're great. They're great. Again, more of like the tubey saturation kind of sound, but really nice. Big fan of this on like Mixbus. is where I get the most use out of it. Really good plugin. I really think that they designed this one really well. It's designed after like an actual hardware device, and I think they did great. All right, here's a good one. The Super Plate from Soundtoys. Now, I did download their little plate, and I got it for free when I signed up for their email list like a couple years ago. But it surprisingly has made it on to a large number of my mixes. Like for a plate reverb, it's one of the better ones that I've used, if you ask me. Soundtoys makes some great stuff. Now, the little plate doesn't have near as much control as this one does. I don't have the same filter. I think I do have modulation. But this one also allows you to choose different materials that the plate is actually made of or components. I don't know. That's real interesting. Actually, to be totally honest, I'm going to add that one to the cart for myself. I love the little plate so much. And for this being marked down from 149, even though technically I haven't used that exact one, I would love to have that little bit of extra control over the plate, because I will do the thing of where I'll like have the plate set up on like an aux, like a send, and then I will like EQ it. And so if that can get me a little bit closer without having to add in one more plugin, like that's worth it to me. $39, not bad. All right, here's a good one. PSP Vintage Warmer 2. This thing is like 15 years old, maybe? I don't know. It's old. It's been around for a minute. And I got it, I think, originally in like 2013, maybe 2014. Something like that. And I remember when I first got it, I was like, oh man, this makes everything sound better. And it was one of the first plugins that I really felt gave you that like warmth and saturation and character, at the same time giving you kind of this multi-band compression type of thing. I love using this plugin to this day on drum overheads. It's a good one. On drum bus, it's a good one. I don't use it on mix bus quite as much, but drums and bass, I do enjoy this plugin. It's expensive. If you can find a demo, maybe download the demo. But I mean, it is marked down a good bit. So I will put my stamp of approval on that one. It's a great plugin. I like it a lot. And 4.7 stars, and it's got 489 reviews, which is well more than you'll actually see on most other plugins. So it's not just my opinion. Go read some of these reviews and then decide for yourself. Vintage Warmer, it's a good one. Oh, this one. Oh, man, this one's so good. Okay, the sales until December 1st, it's 82% off. Oh, man, I'm jealous of anybody that gets this. I downloaded this at, I think it was on sale when I downloaded it, but I think it was over 100. It was like 125 or something like that. I use this plugin on every single mix that I do. It is crazy good, and yes, it is that good. I was actually talking with Harper James, which is the guy that mixed John Legend, and he's got a couple other like big name credits, and we were talking about like SSL plugins and stuff like that, and he was saying that this was the SSL plugin that got him to be a believer in like emulating the SSL console sound. And of course, I promptly downloaded it after that, and I agree with that assessment. Like, SSL EQs have energy, they have punch. The dynamics section also just has this kind of, oh God, I hate saying this, magic to it, but it really does. It sounds super good. It sounds super musical. And they're just such great tools to have. And here, let me zoom in on this one. So is going to be blurry, but there's this little tiny like screw, looks like a flathead screw, THD, total harmonic distortion. That is how you like crank up your saturation of this channel strip. And you even have like a V gain, which I would assume is like virtual gain. It doesn't actually add any volume to your signal, but it does increase noise, but in a very analog console kind of way. It can be kind of fun. The EQ is incredibly useful. That little EQ type button in the middle, it'll switch it from like this EQ to the one that's got like the brown EQs. Really excellent EQ on this. Like I can't hype this thing up enough. Like it's so good. And honestly, the price that it's at right now, $31, crazy good. Yeah, that one's so good. That is well worth it. 82% off. It's so good. And again, 93 reviews at 4.7 stars. Anytime you see more than 50, you can start to trust the reviews. Sometimes. All right, we got Waves Platinum Bundle for $129. Marked down from $2,000? Really? $2,000? I guess so. I would never pay $2,000 for this bundle. And usually I see them on sale for much less than that, but nonetheless, $129 I would say is a good deal. Now, what you get in the Platinum Bundle, you get a lot. And this is, I think I have the Diamond Bundle from years ago, which I think is really similar. But let's go through and I'll tell you the ones that are really good. Oh, de-esser, right off the bat, one of my favorite de-essers, old plugin. It's been around for, again, like 15 years or whatever it is, which is ancient in plugin terms. Really great fidelity, works incredibly well, not just on vocals, but anytime you need to just like smooth out some of the harshness in something, it does that really well. Doubler, fun. I like using that on acoustic guitar. That's great. What else we got? GTR3, pass on that one. H-Delay, hybrid delay. My favorite delay plugin of all time. Not kidding at all. Not overhyping it. It's so good, it's crazy. And it's when you talk to a lot of mix engineers, like if they know H-Delay, they use it all the time. It sounds so good. You've got the different analog modes so that you can dial in real specific type of sounds. And on the bottom left of the plugin, there's this like rate and depth control where the repeats from the delay can start to sound like an old worn out VHS tape in the just most beautiful warbly kind of way. Oh, it's so good. So good. I love H-Delay. Right below that, IRL Convolution Reverb. One of the better reverb plugins. Again, old, but so good. Whoever designed a lot of these plugins for Waves did a phenomenal job. Linear phase EQ, always useful. One knob driver, cool to have. Puig Tech, they're fine. I like the UAD a little better, but they're not bad. They're pretty good. Oh, and then all the Renaissance stuff that you see right there. So the Renaissance Axe, Renaissance Bass, Renaissance Channel, Renaissance Compressor, Renaissance De-esser, so on and so forth. This is, they call it like the R-Vox, R-Bass, R-Channel. Great. When you are looking for transparency and fidelity, that's when I usually reach for the Renaissance stuff. They make really good sounding plugins for when you're looking for that transparency. And then the Renaissance Vox or the R-Vox, such a useful tool. There's a lot of guys, especially in like the rap and hip hop world, that like this is forever on their vocal chain. And to me, there's almost no singular plugin that's on every single vocal chain. But I will say the Renaissance Vox, the R-Vox, is very versatile. And so it very well could be. S1 stereo imager, useful. V-Comp, it's like a more vintage compressor. That sounds good. The VU meter, also really nice to have. Like back when I used to have two screens, I would put like my like waveforms on one screen. I would have like my mix console on another, and then I would have the VU meters just up in the corner. And it was just always a really nice reference so that I can just look and see what's happening on my like master meters. It's just a nice little visual to have. It actually is pretty great. I know it sounds like such like a whatever plugin. It was useful. So that gives you 67 plugins. All of them that I just listed off, I will say, are really good. Again, the GTR, meh, not for me. What is Emo Generator? Oh God, I feel like that could be a nickname for a kid in high school. Yeah, like there's some other stuff on here. C1 compressor isn't bad. C4 multi-band compressor isn't bad either. Like you get a lot for your money. So 129, I'd say that one's good. Yeah, that one's worth it. Before we give Waves way too much credit, their API stuff, their API collection, meh. The EQs I've used from time to time. I love API EQs, the 550A and 550B. Those are some EQs that I use. That style of EQ I use all the time. But the Wave stuff is like meh. It's in my opinion not worth it. I know they have the whole like Waves API collection. I have never enjoyed the Waves API stuff. It's just not that great. So you don't have to worry about that being a great deal. I know I said that was going to be the last of Waves, but the CLA 76, I just want to point this out because it is on sale and it's 79% off. So it's usually $150, $29.99, so $30. Listen, if you're going to ask me my honest thoughts, the CLA 76 is good. The UAD is way good. Like I would choose the UAD 1176. Like the UAD, the black 1176, the silver face is like a little bit like the harshness. It just doesn't get along with me. But on some stuff it works, like snare drums. But for a lot of other stuff, not so much. But the black face 1176, the UAD is so good, it's crazy. The CLA 76, I actually do like the bluey a little bit more. And they're great. There's a lot of engineers that swear by the CLA 76, but just personal preference. I am not knocking the CLA 76 because, again, engineers that I respect that make music that I actually like and have paid money to purchase the records that they have made, they've used the CLA 76. It's a great compressor, so I'm giving it a shout out. $30 just until Sunday. So not a bad deal if you're thinking about it. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this earlier, but the Fab Filter Pro L-2, it's another one of those. And it's got a free trial. If you want to try it out, you got a couple of days. The sale's going on until December 1st. But if you have not gotten a limiter that you get along with, the Pro L-2 is really good. The fidelity is great. It makes things big and excited sounding. It's got a great mid-range push that it gives, which again is awesome to have. And it's got all the different like modes. It's got like the modern, which I think is the one that it's on whenever you first turn on the plugin, which is fine. It sounds good. But like for me, I use the transparent mode most often because like I like the way that my mixes sound. When I get to the stage in my mix where I'm throwing on a limiter, I usually get everything really pretty well balanced and all of the tracks kind of generally tone shaped how I want. That's usually when I put my limiter on the master bus or the instrument 2 bus. And I will say that I've gotten along most with the Pro L-2. It's super good. It's super good. And then you can also throw it on like individual tracks. It's not just like a stereo bus limiter. Like I use it on bass all the time too. Pro L-2, if you have not gotten it and you are willing, because I know it's still expensive, it's on sale and they never go on sale is the reason why I'm saying this. They're usually $200, $150 for how good it is. I think it's a standard. It's just that good. It is really good. So if you're considering a limiter and you've got the budget, it might not be a bad time. Okay, this one is maybe going to be the last one. I'm going to give you the free one. I'm still going to do that. But this is the Chandler Limited Germanium Compressor. I even gave this plugin a shout out on my channel when I was talking about using the actual hardware unit when I was in the Del Cobras session from a couple weeks ago. I used the Chandler Germanium compressor for the room mics to get a little bit of like crunch, a little bit of hair, a little bit of distortion in that overall signal so that I could bring up those room mics and get that kind of crushed transient and crushed sound out of it. It sounded so good. This plugin version of that compressor is also really good. And the benefits of this over the hardware, you can do mid-side. You can also do like side chain. You can do like wet mix. So all that is a really nice benefit to have on there as well. The magic is in the last two knobs here, Germanium drive and feedback. One of them is just like a general drive, but the feedback will actually send some of the output signal right back to the input of the compressor and process it again, which gives you kind of a cool feel. And so there's this kind of push and pull. So if you drive up the Germanium drive, try pulling back on the feedback and then kind of do the opposite where you're pulling back on the Germanium drive, but you're pushing into the feedback a little bit. It's really nice. Sound quality, 11 out of 10. Wonderful plugin. I honestly think for like drums, it's so useful. So good. And then for the free plugin, I'm just going to Softube saturation knob. And this is just their website. Listen, this is one of my favorite saturating plugins. It gives you a lot of hair on the saturation. Very tubey in a way. I like it a lot. I've used it a lot on vocals, a lot on bass guitar. In fact, one of my favorite uses of this plugin was on a mix that I did a couple years ago, and there was like these like falsetto harmonies that were supporting the main vocal, and it was kind of creepy sounding. And so what I did was I just slammed those falsetto harmonies into that Softube saturator, and it made it sound like a theremin. If you don't know what theremin is, like go look it up. They're pretty cool. But let's solo out those high vocals. It was so cool. It sounded so good. So this is such a wonderful tool. It for like free plugins, especially saturators. Oftentimes the free saturators will actually change your sound too much to the point of where it's just like unrecognizable and doesn't give you the fidelity and it's not as useful. This one for a free plugin is one that I use all the time. So worth the time it takes to download and to put that into your DAW. That's a wonderful sounding saturator. All right, that's going to do it for me. Listen, if you got something out of this video, I need you to do a few things for me. There's some buttons that I need you to hit. There's a like. So if you liked this video, it's a crazy idea, but you could like the video. And of course, we're talking about plugins. So I'm sure I offended somebody. I ultimately don't care, but I still want you to let me know in the comments exactly how I hurt you. And of course, if anybody else has some suggestions, if I missed any really good deals, drop them in the comments down below. If I see a comment of just an undeniable good deal, I will pin that comment. And then last but not least, of course, I've got that link in my description. So if you want to say thank you to this channel, use that link. Those links are how I can continue to make these videos not sponsored. So feel free to use that link. It costs nothing to you, gives me a tiny little kickback, but it's a great way to say thanks to the channel. All right, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Monday, maybe Tuesday, but Monday, maybe Tuesday, I'm coming out with my plugin tier list video. So stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss that. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.